We're here in my newly designed garage workshop, and I've got my first project, one of the first projects that I need to work on. Tanti needs me to build her a chuppah, which is kind of a wedding canopy. She needs it made out of these extruded aluminum square tubes. They're 4 posts 8 feet tall and 4 posts that are 6 feet wide. I've been thinking about a design. I think I've got one. I'll show you how it works, and then we'll see it come together. So what this chuppah needs to be is a clean, solid structure with 4 vertical tubes and 4 horizontal tubes. Horizontal tubes need to be all in the same plane. They can't have them resting on top of each other on the horizontal plane. I figure I'll cut away part of the horizontal tube so that we have this flap. So we'll have 2 horizontal tubes meeting each other, and we'll bolt down through the top. Alright, now here you see one of the pieces of tubing, and I've actually cut away a piece. To do this, I simply used a hacksaw. It took a while, but I was able to get a pretty clean cut, pretty accurate, but I really don't feel like doing this for 7 more times. It was kind of a pain in the ass. I had considered using a bandsaw, but that's a little bit unwieldy. So this is a reciprocating saw, and this works a lot faster. I made this guide. I made this block here. So this is simply some pieces of wood with very thin shim, keeping a space in between. And then this is going to allow me, hopefully, to cut accurately and straight. All right. And let's get this centered. All right. We seem to have a pretty nice clean cut there. Need these batteries to charge up. Alright, well, while my battery is charging, I want to talk about how to support these tubes. This is one with a sort of lap joint cut in it. So that's going to rest over the top of another tube like this. The vertical pieces are going to be attached to these heavy stone. These are bases for patio furniture. There's a little bolt hole in the bottom, and these are going to attach with these lag screws, these big honking things here. So these bolt up from the bottom, and then I've gone ahead and cut to size some wood pieces that are going to fit into, just going to fit right into these tubes. Drill a hole, I think a 3/8 inch hole. So I cut 8 of these. I cut 4 that are going to go into the bottom of the 8-foot holes, and then 4 that are going to go into the top, and that's what these are going to bolt onto. There we go. I may want to drill into the side to put a pin or a bolt or something to secure this a little better. Give it a shot. That's pretty smooth. It's going to be tight. So I'm going to make a little jig using the offcuts. What I'm going to be able to do is slide this over the top. I'm going to make a hole that's exactly in the center here, and then into that hole I'm going to insert these bolts. Aluminum drills just about as well as wood, so. Once I've got the hole started, I can remove the metal piece. Pretty good. Here's the other thing I can do with this little jig that I made. So if I just turn this upside down, I can mark into the hole. That's where to drill, and I can mark it on each of these. So I'll mark all of these like that. I've got my pieces that fit into the top of the vertical members, and I need to insert these bolts. Just put a bolt in the chuck of a drill. Oh, that seems pretty good, and that just fits in there. These are the blocks that are going to fit into the bottom of the uprights. They go in with an impact driver. I've already driven one in. You can see how it just bolts in from the back here. By driving these lag screws in with the impact driver first, it allows me to clamp it with the vise to get a little more secure grip on it, and also I found that once you pull these out with the impact driver, the next time you drive them in, you could drive them by hand with a ratchet. Just to demonstrate, this one's been sitting in there for a while. You can see how I'm able to crank this in by hand, since this has already been, I've already essentially threaded this hole. Alright, that's not going anywhere. So to place these things, I'm just spacing the bases so that when we lap these on the sides, it creates the correct distance. Then we can move these cross beams up to the top. Yeah, we'll be able to secure them with the knob.